Alright everyone, welcome back to Cuckold ASMR. Today I just wanted to show you all a little bit of my wife's sock collection that she's given me, and how all of these have some sort of fluid on them, or they were used to wipe off fluid, something like that. And I'm trying to remember the exact occasions each one had. And there's not just socks, like there's a pair of my wife's boyfriend's boxers that I kind of squirreled away. I'm gonna wash them by hand when I take a shower next. But for now, it's kind of nice to wear them on my face with all my wife's socks piled in, so that I can get a big multi-layered hit of like everything between them, foot smell, cum smell, actually you see that? It's like a little kitty cat on each sock, right there, little kitties. I guess my wife probably thought it was funny to give me like pussy socks, because pussy socks. I didn't think of that beforehand. But yeah, the pink one up on the left, that one is that's the one she took a little bit of a piss on and mixed it with his too. And they spat all over it, and then, it had their normal sweat afterwards. So, all of these, I used to clean off all the sweat that he worked up on his back, and then his underarms and on his belly, because, he's got a bit of a round belly, but, he's real hairy and everything. And that's fine, I like that. She likes that. It keeps the scent in, so that she can just breathe in his aroma and kind of become more controlled and owned by him, the same way I do with her scent and everything. So anyways, and then I've got my little skull mask right there. It's a little kind of bandana, you put it over your face when it's cold, but that one's a skull because I think it makes me look cool sometimes. Anyways, so this is her star and moon sock. This was from the new year, and she wanted to kind of have, an astronomy themed thing when she was kissing him for the new year. And then when he took her back to our bedroom before the party we were having was over, and all our friends got to see that, and this was the first time that we'd really shown everyone that I was a cuck, and that she, really could put me in my place however she wanted, and that her boyfriend, he wasn't just someone we hung out with, he had, a really special place in her life, perhaps even more special than mine. And so this was the New Year sock, and some of our friends, when he took her back there and I was sitting out front, they were a little weirded out by it, which I think is fair. It's a little weird to be a cuck and to kind of let your wife trample all over you publicly like that. And most of the people at the party, they knew me. And if they knew my wife, they knew her through me. So seeing me kind of be put in a super submissive position like that threw some of them, and they made their excuses to kind of get out of there. But some of my work buddies who are kind of assholes, were poking fun at me the entire night, and that was alright. It hurt and it felt humiliating in the moment, but I just kept telling myself was gonna be replaying their comments to me over and over and over and over again all year, probably even for the rest of my life. Just every single time I need to be reminded of my place in the world and how I'm a cook, and and that's held true. I've really returned to those comments a lot about like how any promotions I earned were gonna end up going into his bank account, and there's some truth to that. Mostly it's her account. We don't have a joint account anymore. She wanted to kind of play up the aspect of me being her like pay pig and her simp and her little money cuck, money cuck, And I really liked that. I didn't at first, but it grew on me. I learned to like it, and I'm really grateful to her now for making me learn to like it. So anyways, this is their New Year cum rag and sweat rag. I don't know if you can really see that discoloration there, but that's when she wiped him out of her, and then gave it to me. And his flavor is kind of spicy, so I liked that a lot. Anyway, these two down here are just kind of run-of-the-mill sweat socks. My wife gives me some of these once a month if I've been really good. And, you can see that I've only got two here, so she wasn't super pleased with my performance as a dutiful husband and a dutiful cuckold. So I only got two of these this year. And, I've taken really good care of him because, scarce is scent when I'm not able to live up to my potential as like a beta male and a little bitch and a cuckold for her, So I've only got the two there, and they both smell really good. One she gave to me after she went hiking with him for a day, so it's got kind of like a boot and leather smell, but it's also got the smell of her sweat, and she didn't shave her like legs or feet before that, so she had those extra little fine hairs everywhere that hold on to her scent. So yeah, it's funny, her body odor and her sweat, not body odor, but just her sweat and her skin, it kind of smells like petrichor, that smell before it, or right as it's raining, with like wet rocks and stuff. So it's like really fragrant and like airy and perfumey, but then it's also got like a nice sweetness to it, kind of like some sort of powdery sweetness, like pewter or sugar or something. I don't really know how to describe it, but my wife's boyfriend, when I tried to describe it to him, he laughed at me. First of all, he laughed at me he thought it was kind of gay that I was trying to describe her scent. He kind of just takes her, fucks her, and leaves her, they go out on dates and stuff, but usually when he can't get another one, so my wife is kind of his backup, which I think is insulting, but because my wife is amazing, that's why I let her do all this to me. But to him, she's just kind of another fuck, and I'm just like, another cuck in his life. I guess he's got a few that he does this with, but she's devoted to him and she's in love with him, and she hasn't told him that yet, so it's a secret. If you guys can't go and tell him that, she's trying to work up to it right now, so that you keep that a secret between you and me, okay? Okay, that's in my wife's confidence. I probably shouldn't have even told you that. I mean, I probably shouldn't even know. I'm not that dependable. I'm kind of a shithead, and raised that way and be put in her place as a woman, you know? Not that I necessarily agree with all of that alpha, male stuff and like women's places to be bred and subservient to men. It's just, sometimes it's kind of fun to pretend. Anyways, so both these socks up top aren't from her boyfriend. They're from my best friend. So like I said at the New Year's party, when she revealed to everyone that I'm a cuck and that she can cheat on me with whoever she wants, and that she's a hot wife, she revealed to everyone that I am a cuckold, a cuckold, a cuck, a cuck, a cuck. I'm a cuck. You can be a cuck if you're good enough, or if in your case you're bad enough. But you can be a cuck if you try real hard to be the worst version of yourself. Be a beta cuck and let the women in your life rule over you. That's the best that you or I can hope for. Anyways, so the New Year's, she revealed to everyone that she cuckolds me with better men. Sometimes not even better men, just men, And once my friends found out about that, they really took it upon themselves to start trying to seduce her. And my best friend, he knows her pretty well, because he knows me pretty well. So it wasn't real hard for him to, set up hangouts, and I wasn't there, because, I secretly wanted to happen. So I made myself scarce for him, because I could see it in his eyes that he was angling for it, angling for my wife. He wanted her bad. I remember the first night he met her, he was hitting on her hard, and I was pretending not to notice. And then we were smoking a cigarette, and I don't smoke anymore because that's for bad boys. That's for guys who are too cool. I gotta be straight-laced and bitchy and, just a little cuck. But I don't smoke anymore. But we were smoking then. And he was like, God damn, that bitch inside is fucking hot. And he was right. She was wearing this gorgeous pin-up dress with these fishnet stockings. And he was like, I'm gonna make a move in on her. And this was before I had accepted my place as a cuckold in the world. Back then I was still pretending to be a strong, manly man who could please women, especially please my wife. You know how it goes, that performance. So I objected and was like, dude, that's my girlfriend. That's the girl I was talking about, you meeting. And he was like, God, sorry, man. She's just really, really beautiful and attractive, and she's kind of funny, and I like her kind of dark humor, so I was gonna go for it. And I was like, I get it, man. She's pretty amazing. Understatement of my life. She is everything. She is the penultimate person in my life. She surpasses all glory and divinity and godliness and redefines those terms in tangible, concrete forms for me. And that's why I'm a cuck. It's not just that I'm a little beta bitch. It's that she is so powerful and amazing. So, both of those socks are from when my best friend learned what he could do to me. What I was willing to accept. And that he didn't even need to have. That he didn't even need conversation with me about it. He just went for it. And that really hurt at first. I didn't like that. But my wife, she reminded me that she makes the decisions, and she decided to fuck my best friend because she really liked him too. They've always had chemistry. A lot of my girlfriends and my best friend have had chemistry, and I've had chemistry with his girlfriends, but for different reasons there. So after he fucked her and came inside her, been between her gorgeous supple thighs, that's what she wiped him up with. And she kept one in her pants for the next few days while he dripped out of her. So that's the gray one. That's kind of super saturated. But the pink one, she had me walk around with it in my mouth, basically for a few hours every day, until I had his scent memorized and I could describe it. And until his flavor was gone from the sock. So it's kind of just a normal sock right now. So this other kitty sock that's gray and the other pink one are both pairs from my birthday, when my wife was flirting with my cousin at a family memorial. It wasn't on my birthday, it was just a birthday present. And she was dripping from her boyfriend that day, but she was also just getting really, really wet, and she gets really soaking, dripping wet in general. And so I don't know if the gray or the pink one was the one that was the cum rag from her boyfriend that time, but I know the pink one was the one that her gruel, her cum, her fluids, her juices was dripping on, and she wiped up every time she went to the bathroom while she was talking with my cousin, who's kind of a piece of shit, selfish asshole, very business type, but also kind of shy and not very dominating, more like an accountant who just doesn't have much soul. But I know one thing she really likes is getting with guys who are even more pathetic than I am in one way or another, or in multiple ways, because she says it really trains me to not get too big of a head. And that's not a danger anyways. Most cucks don't have the big head, if you know what I mean. That's why we're cucks. Anyways, I told you about my wife's boyfriend's boxers, and I wear those on my face, and I just stuff all these in, and depending on the mood, I put one of them closer to my nostrils, and that's the one I go with. Anyways, just wanted to show you all my collection. The end of the year is coming up, so I'm gonna end up having to give all these back and start fresh. Prove that I deserve them, and make sure I'm setting up dates and making some money so she can go out and fill all these socks with proof of my inadequacy. if you're out there and you're really into wanting to become a cuckold, I just want you to know that it can happen for you, you know? Just keep trying. Keep gooning yourself into a dumb fuck, idiot, piece of shit, loser, beta bitch state of mind, and the women in your life will do the rest. That's what women are really powerful in doing with men, is shaping them into the optimal version of themselves. And I'm just so grateful that a woman as powerful and as amazing as my wife lets me be in her presence while she shapes me. I hope one day she lets me be in their presence while they're, going at it together, and I get to see them making love. That's my dream. It'll happen one day. It's been a couple years, but we're working up to it. I just gotta, stop having those episodes where I don't like things, or, something happens that I feel bad about. I just need to keep that to myself and shut the fuck up like a worthless piece of shit, because that's what I am. I'm a worthless piece of shit. You're a worthless piece of shit too. We're all worthless pieces of shit, and we all deserve to be beneath the dominion of strong goddess-like women and their Adonis counterpart men, and also the pitiful little bastards who they fuck to put us in our place, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just need to stop thinking that I have a say in this stuff, and I'm sure that if I do that and I really prove my loyalty and my ability to get past myself and control my emotions and just shove them deep down where she doesn't have to hear about them and her friends or her boyfriends don't have to hear about them, then, one day I'll get to see her legs daintily bouncing around him while he has her pressed and folded into a pretzel, and she's screaming his name, and he's laughing at me and saying how I could never do that. I wish I didn't have my cage on right now. I'm making myself real sad and, excited at the same time. But I gotta be a good boy. I gotta be a good man. Gotta be a good husband. Gotta be a good cuck. Everyone should learn to be the best cuck that they can be. So, I hope you all enjoyed my little show and tell tonight. I'm shaking pretty bad from holding the microphone in a specific position. So I'm gonna let